Today we're going to take a look at reflexive verbs. Reflexive verbs are verbs which the person doing the action and the person receiving the action are the same. In other words, I'm doing something to myself, or you're doing something to yourself, or he's doing something to himself. For example, in this picture, María se peina. María hace la acción, pero también recibe la acción. Es su pelo. In English, this means Maria combs her hair. This is an example of a reflexive verb because she's doing the action, but she's also receiving the action because it's her own hair. In this example, María peina a su perro. María hace la acción, pero esta vez no recibe la acción. Su perro recibe la acción. So, Maria is still doing the action, but this time the dog is benefiting and receiving the action. In Spanish, reflexive verbs always have a reflexive pronoun either at the end of the infinitive, that's the verb ending in AR, ER, or IR, or before a conjugated verb. Let's take a look at some examples of where the reflexive pronoun is placed. Los estudiantes se lavan las manos antes del almuerzo. The students wash their hands before lunch. Notice that the se, which is the reflexive pronoun, is going before lavan, which is the conjugated verb. In our second example, los estudiantes necesitan lavarse las manos antes del almuerzo. We have an infinitive verb, lavar. And note that the se is attached on to the end of lavar, making it lavarse. In Spanish, the reflexive pronouns are me, te, se, nos, os, and se. Me means myself, te means yourself, se means himself, herself, or a polite yourself, nos means ourselves, os a friendly you all's selves, and se means their self or you all's self. Now let's take a look at a verb conjugated in all 6 forms. The verb we're going to work through is levantarse. Levantarse means to get up or to stand up. So if I wanted to say I get up, I would say me levanto. If I want to say you get up, te levantas. He or she gets up, or a polite you get up, se levanta. We get up is nos levantamos. A friendly you all in Spain get up, os levantáis. And they or you all get up, se levantan. So notice that the reflexive pronoun went before each of the conjugated forms, and the endings are the same endings that we would use for any other AR verb. So if we look at the infinitive form of the verb, you can see the se is attached to the end. But when we conjugate, the se moves out to the front and then changes according to who the subject is. Now let's take a look at another example. Paco se despierta. This is reflexive because Paco is waking himself up. Let's take a look at another example. La mamá despierta a su hijo. In this case, there is no reflexive pronoun. The reason why is because the child is not waking himself up. The mom is doing the task. The child is only receiving the action. Now let's take a look at some common reflexive verbs used in the daily routine. Repiten por favor. Despertarse. Despertarse means to wake up. Paco se despierta a las 6 de la mañana. Ducharse. Ducharse quiere decir take a shower. Después de despertarse, Paco se ducha. Cepillarse los dientes. Cepillarse los dientes quiere decir brush his teeth. próximo, Paco se cepilla los dientes en el baño. Peinarse quiere decir to comb one's hair. Paco se peina muy rápidamente porque tiene mucha prisa. Afeitarse. Afeitarse quiere decir to shave. Antes de salir del baño, Paco se afeita. Ponerse la bata. Ponerse la bata quiere decir to put on a robe. Paco se pone la bata y camina a la alcoba. Vestirse. Vestirse quiere decir to get dressed. En la alcoba, Paco busca la ropa en la cómoda y después se viste. Sentarse. Sentarse quiere decir to sit down. Paco camina al comedor y se sienta en la silla. Aquí hay más verbos reflexivos. Acostarse. Bañarse. Divertirse. Dormirse. Lavarse. Levantarse. Llamarse. Quitarse. Nota que algunos de estos son verbos con cambios de raíz también. Some of these verbs have a stem change. Se nota el cambio de raíz con las letras entre paréntesis. Ahora quiero que ustedes describan sus rutinas diarias.